Spider's Web, and in this video we're going to be painting some more of the Temple of Elemental figures. This time it's these three. They are the Fire Warriors. Sorry, Fire Elementals. So with the Fire Elementals, what I've seen so far, they're all in black armour and they have a red emblem here on the belt buckle and on the elbows there. So shall we get on with it? Why not? What we need to do first to start off is black. Yes, a bit of black. So Abaddon black is the colour of choice. We'll get this on the palette. You need quite a bit of this because it's got to go a long way. So there we are. I'm not going to be too fussy about this. We'll use the brush that we've used to apply it to the palette. I will just slap it on. That's it. All over black. Black, 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 black. Okay. So that is all of the black done. Next we have to paint some things white. Yes, I know it does sound strange. In fact, I may not paint them white. I may do something. In fact, I am going to do something completely different. What we have is, as you can see on the back of the boots, we have what looks like flame effect. We are going to make them flame effect. So first off, we're going to be using corn red. We need to put some of this on our palette, like so. And we will paint over the area of the boots that we need to make look as though it is flame. It's going to be stylized flame, it's not going to be a true flame. Oops, flame effect. We just want to make it look as though it's flame. And we'll give the impression of flame. So we're going to use the flame colours, but not necessarily in the way flame would be. That's done. And now what we're going to do is what I said we were going to do, which is get the dry brush for the armour. Now, with it being whatchamacallit, with it being fire, I think some of it is a little cold. So what we're going to use for this is a warmer colour for the armour, Balthazar Gold. So I'm just giving it a good shake. And then with our dry brush, pop it to one side, scoop some off. I want it quite subtle. There we go. That is almost it for this one. Next we need to get a skin tone done, and for that we're going to use quite a deep colour for a skin tone. Not that one. Where are we? Where are we? Where are we? Come on, where are we? Not that one. That one will do. And the skin tone for these fellas will be rat skin flesh. Okay, so we'll get some of that on our palette. And there's not all that much to do. Hopefully we'll have enough with that. No, I haven't actually. What's the word I'm looking for? Painted the goggles on this fella, so I'm going to have to come back and do that again. And the reason I've gone for a darker skin tone is because, well, let's face it, the Fire Cultist, and because of that I would see them as having like very quite tanned flesh. So just getting a nice point on my brush. And go over what I see to be face and the back. I'm going to go through all of these first of all, just to get the paint on, and then I'll come back and paint reinforce the goggles if need be. That I will do. So that's the flesh areas done. While I'm waiting for that to dry, we've done the back of the boots in corn red. Let's go now into a much lighter red. Evil Sun Scarlet. Okay, just want to make sure that this brush is dry. It is. I'll get some of this on the brush. And hopefully I can do this without getting it everywhere. Because this dry brush is getting a bit shot at now. We have a dark red, we have a pale red. Next up we'll have an orange and then a yellow. But as I said, I didn't want it to look too much like realistic flame. I wanted it to be very stylised. And hopefully that is well achieved. Now, the hard part with any red paint is trying to get it off the brush once it's on. It's a very difficult colour. Red can be a very difficult colour to work with at the best of times. it can stain. It's difficult to apply because the pigment isn't terribly strong with red, unfortunately, so it can be difficult to apply, but it does stain the brushes, making it difficult to get off. Right, so we are now using Troll Slayer Orange. And we'll just get some of that on our brush, wipe it off, and again we are just using stylized flame design. If it was proper flame, like the spear, it would be starting off with yellow. We paint it all yellow, and then I'll paint it white, and then yellow, and then dry brush or blend in with the darker colours. But with this, what we're trying to do is just make it look like an idea of flame, as I've said before. And that was the orange, and now for the final colour we're going to have Flashgate's yellow. So we'll get some of that on the brush. And there we are. That's all we're looking for. There we are. Now, that's that bit done. Next, now the flesh hopefully is dried, we're going to be, not sure how long this video is, or going to be. I may split this one in two, I don't know yet. I may have already split it in two. Who knows? I don't know until we get around to the editing. What I'm going to do now is go back into all black, which was Chaos Black, Abaddon Black. What was it called? What's it called again now? Abaddon Black. To change the colour of the paint names that often, I've not a clue what I'm going with them. Okay, so I am changing some of these to look less like metal and more like cloth. I'm going to paint the back of this guy's t-shirt black. I didn't want to do it beforehand because I wanted to make sure that I left the earring, didn't paint it all I didn't dry brush all of it and I got carried away seeing all the black. So to make sure I didn't get carried away, if you get me drift, because this area is going to be highlighted differently than the armour. There we go. So that is the first one. I'm also going to re-establish some of the other goggles. I don't want them looking metallic. And I'm also going to just make sure that the edges of the armour here is correct. Again, re-establish the goggles. Change that. It probably is armour, but I want, if it is armour, I want it to be black rather than that. I think as well is material. It doesn't look I want to do that a different colour altogether, so I'm not doing that. That's what I was going to do then. So yeah, I'm going to change the brain has suddenly stopped working. Or the belt. I'm going to change. Hell. I'm going to change the belt. Because I don't think that is metal. I think it is some form of cloth. There we go. I just need to touch up with some of the dry brushing again in some areas, but that's not an issue. I can do that a little later. Next, the back of the t-shirts that they're wearing, or the vests that they're wearing. I'll do one in the corn red. I'm just going to take it straight out of the bottle because there's not much of it to do. Oops. And there we are. Still we need to touch up some of the spears by the look of it. There we are. That's the red. And the next one we'll have what colour can we do the next one? Not something flamey colour. Don't want it being a bright orange, Jacquera orange. I'll go with that. Which is that colour. Okay, so we're gonna, again, straight out of the pot. I'm struggling here because I've got the stand that I have this camera on is like a monopod kind of thing, and the actual post is directly in front of me with the camera on top of it. I'm trying to find a way of being able to do this without knocking the camera. Okay, so there we are. That's that. I'm now going to go over the skin once again. Give it a second coat because it does need it. There we are. T-shirt colour here is quite similar to the skin colour. Weird, bizarrely. There we are. That's that. Next, I'm going to be just painting the flame on the end of the spear. I don't know how long I've been videoing this. I'm assuming it's taken a while. I don't know how long it's going to be before the with the fast forwarded bits of the boring parts. While that way, so I'm hoping it has been split by now. Next we're going to have the wash, and for the wash it's going to be Reikland Flash Shade. And then I'm going to have to pause for a bit to let this dry. The face is quite flat, unfortunately, on these miniatures. I'm also going to go over the t-shirt as well with this colour. So there's not much of a face for the wash to actually cling to, but hopefully it'll be alright when it's finished. What I need to do, however, is give this now a chance to dry before I do anything else with the flesh anyway. Usually takes about an hour for the wash to dry, but while I'm waiting for that to dry, we can always do the flame spear, and we're going to do that the opposite way that we did the boots. I'm going to start off with the Flash Kitsch Yellow. Heavy dry brush, and just plop it on and just go down with it. If you get it on the spear accidentally, don't worry about it, because it's going to be going over that again with black a little later. Next, once all the yellow is off the brush, we will go in then with a much drier dry brush of the Troll Slayer Orange, which is the brighter of the two oranges I have. So it's earlier, it's that colour. We're not going to go too heavy with this. Again, in a downward motion. Allowing some of the yellow to still show through. And there we go. And then finally, for this spear, we're going to use the Evil Sun Scarlet, which we used as the first highlight for the boots. And you'll see in a minute why doing it this way gives a much brighter flame. Again, with this you want a very, very dry brush. You want almost no paint on the brush at all. And we're just going to go like that. Try just to go over at the top edge. I'm not actually hitting everywhere, as you can see, on the flame. I'm just going along the top edge. There we are. And as you can see, there's a big difference between the two types of flame. The one on the spear is much brighter because we started off with a brighter colour. That's much darker because we started off with a darker colour, obviously. But as I said, the boots aren't a priority for realistic flame technique, whereas the spear is, because that is a burning spear. I'm going to have to actually get down to giving this dry brush a good clean, which I will do at a later date. What I will do though now, while I have the chance, is using a little bit of a colour that we used in the previous video for the Fire Cultists, a little bit of the Fang, which we still have on the palette. I'm just going to bring it out. We don't want a great deal of this. I'm just going to use that on the t-shirts, just little areas. Where there's like creases, that kind of thing, just to show a little bit of highlight. That's it for that one. Evil Sun Scarlet for the one which had corn red. Straight out of the pot. I'm not being fussy with this. Same again. Just a few little areas here and there, just to show light hitting these areas. There we are. And when we come back, we can finish off. In fact, what I can do with this one, just to be... no, I won't do that. Change my mind. I was going to do a different colour on the glasses, on the goggles, but I'm not going to. I'm just going to use a little bit of, where is it gone? Stormhost Silver, when I can find it, which is this colour. I've used it before. We've got some on our palette already, which I remember from the last video for the Fire Cultists, so I'll just bring some over. We'll use that a spot on the goggles. On here. Oops, on there. On there. And on there. And even do it on the knees as well, because I'm going to use some of the gemstone paint, some of the red gemstone paint on this miniature. And the red goes really well over silver. Now, we'll be back right after this little transition edit. Well, the one that's coming up now. Okay, we're back, and that what we have now is this on our whatchamacallits, on our characters. What we need to do now is, as you can probably guess, is to, what's the word I'm looking for? Oh yes, highlight a little bit. So we're going to do that now. First off, it's just skin that we need to highlight. So we're going to add a touch of the Screaming Skull back onto the palette. Now we'll pop that over here, and that is going to be going into other colours, well, especially one other colour, which is going to be this one that we used for the flesh, just to make it just a little bit paler. There we go. At least I think that's that. It's one of those situations where we've been, we finished the first part of this about 24 hours have gone by. Didn't get a chance to do any more of this earlier, so we're going to have to do with what we can. Okay, so we're going to get some of this colour, the rat skin flesh I believe it was, get some on our palette, and it's just a case now of adding a little bit to the flesh on the back and picking out what little details there is on the front. Which is basically cheekbones, nose. Try and give it some, trying to give the face some detail. That's the hard part when there isn't any detail on it. If you're not very good at like freehand painting in these kind of models, then it's going to be difficult for you, but bear with it. Bear with it. It does give a good effect. Just have a little bit of patience. So I want nose, cheekbone, and we'll do the chin as well, and that's it. So there's not really much to do. There's not much flesh at all. There we go. That's about it. Now we can't really do much with these silver parts here because they're going to be done with the dual paints, and they will be only applied after we've finished the entire model and given it a coating of varnish. Because if I put that on and then put a varnish over the top of it, all that's going to happen is it's going to dull the effect, which is not what we need. So basically, if it wasn't for the fact that we put that wash on, this would be finished near enough. What we do want to do though is add some colour to what I'm thinking is a belt, cloth belt. It's looking like one. What I want to do is I'm going to go into this red colour that we have here. Okay, move some of that over, and then get some of this colour and move that into it, and then move over to here and get a little bit of the fang and move that in as well. That will do the trick, and we're just going to go like that all around this belt, and I'm going to do the same on each one. There we go. But leaving obviously the buckle at the front metallic. Okay, so that's one done. I'm going to start on this side. And also just, if you would like to do it differently, then do so. This is how I've said this before on, I think, near enough every video I do. When it comes down to painting your minis, unless there is a particularly strong reason why you should paint them all exactly the same, for example it's an army regiment that has a strict, like if you're doing historical battles, or if you're doing a historical army, say Napoleonics, British Napoleonics, you'd have them with the same, all done the same way. Okay, with the white helmets and the red tunics. If you're doing British soldiers in World War II, you do them all with them with the same, with the, you know, the right colour for the, or similar colour to the actual colour that that particular squad was using during the war at that time. With things like this, where there's no set colour scheme, do what you want with them. You know, that's the key to making your army your own. You know, if you do something different to everybody else's, it will stand out, and you know, that's how I would prefer everybody to do it. I'm not doing this to show how it should be done, I'm doing it to show how I'm doing it and giving you ideas. I'm just going to go over this now with a little bit of, I should have told you what I was doing then. I've just mixed a little bit of Screaming Skull in with the colour we've just mixed for the belt. So, oops. Yeah, that was good, I just dropped it. Clumsy so-and-so that I am today. Yeah, so all I did was just mixing some Screaming Scum with this red colour that we mixed for the belt. Nothing really major. It's just that we needed a highlight colour for it, so that's what we did. And it's not a very strong highlight either. So we're just adding a touch to the top of the belt, and if there's any creases in the belt, that's it. So there we are. That is near enough it for these models. I'll come back and show you once it's actually completed and I've given it a coat of varnish. I'll come back and show you how I finish it off with the dual paints on there. But one thing I do want to do before I do anything else, I want to slightly adjust the goggles because I don't particularly like them the way they are. So I'm just going to use a little bit of the Stormhost Silver, okay, and mix it in with some of this bluey grey that we did. And a spot of that red as well will do the trick. Nice light violet colour, and just add this colour to the bottom of the glasses, if you can see them. Just like so. And that is the final touch we can do for this video, or for these minis as yet. Now there will be another video coming with these, as I've just said, but for now that is it, because I need to base them and give all that a chance to dry and then varnish it. So for this video, or these two videos, however many videos this is over, because I don't know how long I've been actually painting these, how long the previous video or previous part was, that's it. So what I'll do is I'll put the brushes to one side and I will show you each of these one by one, and that's it. So until next time, when we'll be doing the Water Cultists, take care, God bless, and bye for now.